it's Kimmy. Today I'm bringing you a video showing the results of a drawing I did back in 2017 for an Inktober challenge that was supposed to be a possessed marionette, I believe. And I actually did all 31 days that year, and I was really proud of myself. So the image I am using to draw over is the original traditional piece I made back in 2017. And the color, if you look at it, it looks kind of weird. I did not have a scanner that picked up color very well back in 2017, and it would just really wash out all the colors. With a traditional piece, I tend to start with a base color using Copic markers, and then I will add more depth and variation in shades and hues and colors with Prismacolor pencils. And Prismacolor pencils, I don't know if it's just me, and frankly, I guess Copic markers as well, but they just don't scan very well. It was not as bright as the original drawing in my hand was. So that was part of my reasoning for wanting to remake it digitally, because I knew I could get better color options, just really make it the colors I had envisioned in my head. Just on a side note, I'm just curious, does anyone else have any issues with shading noses? I feel like I am so bad at it, y'all. I try, but I can't seem to make a nose look like a nose. I don't know, it just popped into my head because you can see me trying and failing to shade a nose. So by this point in the drawing, I have gotten most of the base colors down, and I'm starting to work on the shading, especially on the body. I tend, whether it's traditional or digital art, to not shade enough. I'm very hesitant of making something lose all shadow because it's too dark. I have a hard time balancing it. You will see me multiple times through this piece kind of go back and darken areas of shadow more and lighten some areas that needed more highlights. So drawing hair is something that I really enjoy doing. It's just fun, and there's a lot of detail involved, and I just enjoy it. Looking at the completed piece now, I kind of wish I would have gone back and given her some more strands of hair, make it a little fuller. I just basically followed the guidelines I had drawn for the Inktober drawing from years ago. When you're making 31 drawings in 31 days, you're not as concerned about making every individual hairpiece, but now I am. Making the rib cage for the doll presented a lot of challenges for me. It's very symmetrical, which is more of a challenge in the traditional version that I drew, but it's tricky either way. You want to make it look realistic, but also she's supposed to be kind of like cute and scary, not just super gory or terrifying. So I didn't want the rib cage to be too creepy. Also, finding a balance between a not too hyper-realistic rib cage and a rib cage that you can't even really tell what it is. Trying to find that balance was a little tricky as well. I also wanted to place a heart in her chest, I guess a heart shape in her chest, and trying to decide whether it looked better in the rib cage where it would make more sense to be, and outside was kind of tough because it just looked better on the outside, but I didn't think it made as much sense. Well, here I am shading again, trying to make the shadows darker and the highlights stand out more. Something that I didn't do in the original was make this kind of glittery rib cage that I was working on. I thought the glitter would help emphasize the kind of cute factor, and I had some really cool brushes that I could make glitter effects with, and I just thought it really made everything pop out more as far as the ribcage went. So as I came closer to finishing this piece, I wanted to do something a little more fun with the background than the original. The traditional I had touched up in Photoshop once I scanned it to make the kind of circle behind her a little cleaner. But I thought, well, I've got more tools here in Procreate that I could make some kind of fun, interesting background while still keeping the circle, and I really like the way it turned out. The digital version of this piece took me a little over 9 hours to complete, and I think it was well worth the time. The colors, the textures, everything really turned out the way I had envisioned in the original drawing, and adding things like freckles and glitter, it just really made the drawing pop for me. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video, and remember to stay safe and stay inspired.